Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Growing Tropicals in UK. Today I wanted to share with you guys 15 tropical plants, trees that I acquired about 8 days ago. Yeah, about 8 days ago. Most of them are from Sri Lanka and one of them is from America. So I would like to show you guys one by one what they are and how it looks like. Let's start with our single American grafted tree. This is the single avocado tree that I received from America. It is grafted. As you can see, the graft joint, the rootstock is bacon. The grafted scion is Oro Negro, which is a nice cold hardy tasty avocado, much sought after, and I'm sure is actually something that many of the English avocado lovers would love to have. One day, if this tree takes over and grows nicely, I'm sure I will be able to provide scions from Oro Negro. This plant was actually nice and bushy when it was shown to me. Oh, the leaves are coming off. Due to the fact that it was in a box for 2 weeks with no water, it was really dried out when I received it. Most of the leaves were in the box, black, brown. Anyways, the stem is nice and healthy, so therefore I have no doubt that it will grow. It's actually trying to push out new growth anyway. By the time next spring comes, this should look like a beautiful tree that it was before it was packed. I am actually really excited by it because Oro Negro, Brogden, all of that were the varieties that I really wanted and I have now collected actually. I must make a video on all my avocado trees one day soon, but yeah, for now this is the Oro Negro that I acquired recently 8 days ago, so that I can show you guys what this tree looks like next year. So let's start looking at all the trees that arrived to me from Sri Lanka. I think I received 15 grafted trees. Was it 14? I will know at the end of this video. So here we have the Indian apple jujube. It could even be the Thai. It's the same thing anyway. The Indian apple variety and the Thai apple varieties are same. They are large round fruits that looks like a green apple. That's why it's called the apple jujube. This variety is not very hardy like the European jujube. It's semi-hardy from what I know. It can tolerate somewhat of mild frost, but not the deep frost that the European varieties tolerates. It arrived to me already in flowers. I am going to remove the flowers or just leave it. It's most likely to drop off by itself from the stress of transport, etc. It's looking pretty healthy as it's been 8 days already. Any kind of damage would have been shown by now, but the tree is looking really healthy. Just minor leaf damage from the transit. Anyway, the Indian variety of jujube is actually far superior in taste to the European variety. I've tasted several types of jujubes in my life, and honestly nothing beats the Indian or the Asian variety because they are the same. So that's the graft joint there. Yeah, that's the graft joint. Yeah, it's looking pretty healthy, not bad at all. And as we come up, it's a nice sized plant actually. It should size up nicely by next year. Here you go. I'm actually really excited to have the apple jujube in my hand. The apple Indian jujube. Yay! So let's have a quick look at the next plant now. Plant number 2 of the Sri Lankan batch. Here we have the mango. I think this is the Karatha Columban. It's not looking too happy leaf wise. It's my fault because as soon as it arrived I chucked it out into the garden and let it be. We had that cold spell a few days back. I don't know if it's due to the cold spell or I was at work and didn't really look at it for like 4 or 5 days after, and the soil was really dry. So I'm not sure whether it's a cold spell or the soil being dry, the reason the leaves are all dried out. But the top leaves doesn't look too bad, and the stem is nice and plump, which means the tree is still alive. Yeah, it's quite a nice healthy stem down here. The graft joint is right there. So this is the Sri Lankan Karutha Kolamban mango variety. It is a Sri Lankan mango variety. I haven't seen it grown elsewhere actually. So there you go, plant number 2, grafted mango tree. Now let's have a look at the plant number 3. Plant number 3 is a jackfruit tree. I asked for a dwarf variety, and I don't know what variety this is, but they told me it's dwarf. I have no reason to doubt them. Anyway, so this is I think it is a grafted jackfruit rather than an air-laid one, because I somewhat, where is it? Yeah, I somewhat see a joint going on here. Anyways, it's either an air-laid jackfruit or a dwarf grafted jackfruit tree. So I'm not sure on that one actually, because they did say to me that, you know, it's suitable for pot growing, etc. So it's definitely air-laid or grafted. It's not looking too bad. It's kind of the 8 days of being outside in the UK climate. It's not looking bad at all. Nice and healthy. The size of the plant is actually quite good. It's about 3 foot tall already. I will be grafting my other jackfruit variety that I have onto this. I have the Vietnamese dwarf variety that gives fruits after 2 years or something like that. So I'll be taking a scion from that and grafting it onto one of these branches here. I'll be doing that in the springtime. It's now time to stop doing all the grafting as winter is coming up. So this is plant number 3, dwarf jackfruit. Now let's look at plant number 4 of the Sri Lankan bunch. Here we have Sapodilla. This will be my number 2 grafted Sapodilla plant that I own. This is the, I think, the long fruiting variety rather than the round one. So we have the graft joint here. It's not looking bad actually, not bad at all. And the plant height, I would say about 2.5 feet. It has few side branches. It did really well being outside for 8 days. The cold hasn't damaged it, just a bit of leaf damage from the transit. And the plant itself is looking lovely. I like it. Hopefully I could keep this going. I mean, I kept the last one going over the last winter, so hopefully I could keep this one going as well. So this is the egg-shaped Sapodilla plant. Plant number 4, I think. Or is it plant number 5? I will have to see. Plant number 5 of the Sri Lankan batch. Not looking too well, but still alive. The stem is nice and firm. The top part looks to have wrinkled up, dehydrated, dead, I would say. But after about the first quarter, the stem seems to be quite plump. Well, the leaves are just falling off. I might as well remove it in a bit. So what plant is this? This is the soursop. Soursop plant. Yeah, so if I were to remove the top part, the rest of it is still alive. Put it into a new pot, give it a nice soil mix, and I'm going to take it indoors just for it to recover. So this is plant number 5, the soursop plant that's not looking very happy, but still alive. As you can see, the stem is nice and healthy. As long as the stem is healthy, we know that there's a chance for it to grow back, and I'm very sure this has a very high chance of it growing back by next spring. Let's go to the next plant that has looks appealing to look at even. Plant number 6, plant number 6 is my most favorite and the most desired. Why is that? It's because this is a tropical guava, unlike the other ones, because it is the miniature dwarf guava plant. So this variety belongs to the Guava Nana family. Guava Nana family comes in varied flavors, sweet, sour, etc. So this one now grows as a bush form rather than the big trees. This is the most perfect guava to grow in UK because it can be grown in a pot easily, doesn't grow to be massive like the other ones, and as a bush you can trim it, and as you can see, look, it's already like forming that bush. It is a it has an intense flavor, much more flavorsome than the other large guava varieties. So if you can have a look, as you can see, it's a bush. It will not grow into a huge tree, so ideally you can bring it in and out of the house for winter time, keep it small and compact. And the main reason this is most perfect guava for UK, it flowers few times a year, so which means we have very good chance of it flowering in spring and producing fruits before the winter time, unlike the other guavas which tends to flower towards the end of the summer. I am really looking forward to growing this rare guava variety in UK. I'm also going to try next spring to take cuttings to see if I can propagate it that way and help others in UK to own one of these. Guava Nana. Here we have plant number 7 from the Sri Lankan batch. Plant number 7 is the wax apple, rose apple, Java apple, jambu, whatever you want to call it. This variety is the jumbo variety, the jumbo Sri Lankan white. The plant actually arrived in pretty good condition. The leaves are just damaged from traveling. Apart from that, it actually took the cold recent drop of the temperature recently quite well, because there's no cold damage to the leaves. The plant itself is air layered. Nice thick stem there, a nice healthy plant. Looking forward to growing this Sri Lankan jumbo wax apple jambu in UK. Actually, if I can remember right, when I was in Sri Lanka, these used to grow in the colder parts of Sri Lanka. So I think it's a little bit hardier than we think. Maybe not frost hardy, but hardier than what we're assuming it to be. So looking forward to growing it. In place for plant number 8, here we have the Sri Lankan avocado. I asked for a small plant and they sent me a very small plant. It's too small. I would have liked it if they had sent me a little bit bigger, but anyway, at least I've got a grafted tree of the Sri Lankan avocado tree. It's a little bit slightly bruised, but it will get over it by the time next spring comes, the new growth, etc. These leaves will fall off and replaced by nice fresh batch. Anyway, Sri Lankan avocados are extremely tasty, and I don't know the hardiness of this variety, but once I get some more stems growing, I will be taking some and grafting it just to test it to see the hardiness of it. It will take a couple of years, I guess. Anyways, now I've got myself a Sri Lankan avocado variety. This should be my 16th or 17th or even more variety of avocados that I own. I keep saying no more avocados, but I always end up buying more varieties. Now I really am saying no more because I have no space. Plant number 8, Sri Lankan avocado. Okay, so plant number 9. This is a very sad looking, what is it called now? Hog plum. What are the other names? Umbrella is the name that we use in Sri Lanka. It's extremely sad looking plant. I think because there was a bit of root disturbance happening in reducing the soil amount. What has happened is that it has affected the top of the plant, but the bottom stem is still green and not wrinkled up. I'm very sure once I transplant it, give it a bit of love, I can get this to grow again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I really do want this plant in my collection. I'm going to do my very best to get this umbrella hog plum back to life and growing again. I think this is a air layered cutting. But anyways, that's my sad looking umbrella plant. Plant number 10 here is the apple guava. That's it. We had the apple jujube earlier on, and this is the Thai apple guava variety. Small little plant, not so big. If it does settle down in UK, they are pretty fast growers, so I'm not worried about that. Again, I think because of root disturbance, the top looks a bit droopy. I'm going to chop the tops off and allow it to bush out for next spring. Plant number 10, the Thai apple guava from Sri Lanka. Plant number 11 is the biggest of them all. That looks like, well, maybe at least 3.5 feet tall, I guess. It is a mango. This mango plant looks really healthy, actually. This variety is called the Villard mango. Really tasty variety of mango. I'm not sure if it grows anywhere else but Sri Lanka, but I'm sure it does. It's only the other variety that I showed you guys is exclusive to Sri Lanka. As I have Googled it, I can't find that variety anywhere else. So this is the mango Villard. Really beautiful looking tree. Large size. I need to pot it on nicely and look after it, as I really want this to do well in UK. Isn't it gorgeous? Here we have 4 plants, which makes it plant number 12 to 15. All 4 are citrus. I find that when I import citrus, they do really well for me when it's bare rooted. They always bounce back for me. I've never lost a citrus once bare rooted. They always grow back. So I asked them to bare root it totally. I think one of them maybe. Yeah, one of them is not looking happy, but I'm very sure if I chopped it down and plant it up, it should grow back nicely. So here, I've got a feeling this might be the Sri Lankan lime. So I have one Sri Lankan lime here, and the other one is I bought 2 varieties of Sri Lankan oranges. These oranges remains green even though they are, even after ripening, they remain green. So that's 2 Sri Lankan oranges, different flavors, 1 Sri Lankan lime, and the other one is, what do you call it? Narang. We call it narang. I don't know if narang is a satsuma or a tangerine, but they are small sweet and sour fruits. It tastes, I mean, I've not tasted a fruit like that for me to compare it to in UK. But yeah, 4 citrus plants, Sri Lankan lime, 2 Sri Lankan oranges that remains green after ripening, and then we have the Sri Lankan satsuma or tangerine or whatnot. Anyways, that's 4 citrus plants in one, and really need to plant these up. It's been 8 days, tomorrow will be 9, so I think I'm not going to get much time for like 2 weeks or so. But yeah, so these are my brand new tropical fruiting trees that I've acquired recently. What do you guys think? Do you like them? I am excited by it actually, so just have to get these through the winter time and it should be doing well. While I'm here, I'm going to show you a couple of my avocado graft. This here, I'm going to do a different video on it actually. I'm going to leave that one and try and do a different video because it deserves its own place. Own space, I mean. Anyways, so that's your lot for now. Until next time, take care and bye bye.